It is time for another 30-day challenge, but only one of us is going to be participating, and I'll let you guess who.
It's finally time to do a Linux challenge. Once again, one of us is going to be switching to Linux full-time for 30 days on their gaming PC at home. And before you get into this video and watch that sponsor spot, comment down below which one you think it's going to be, and we'll tell you who it is after word from today's sponsor.
Whether you're streaming, gaming, recording tutorials, or doing voiceover work, if you've been thinking about upgrading your audio setup, today's video sponsor FeeFind has two pieces of gear that make a huge difference without blowing up your budget. The FeeFind K688 CT mic bundle comes with the USB XLR dynamic mic and boom arm. The mic delivers crisp, clear vocal quality with a cardioid pickup pattern that helps cut out background noise. Plus, it's plug and play, super simple to set up, and comes with touch mute and volume controls built in. It's the perfect mic for if you want that clean, professional tone without needing extra equipment or a complicated setup. But if you do want a little more control, or you're planning on expanding your audio chain, that's where the FeeFind AmpliGame SC3 mixer comes in. It gives you physical sliders for your mic, game audio, music, and more. Even has an XLR input with 48-volt phantom power, real-time monitoring, built-in voice effects, and quick access mute buttons. It's great for live streaming or anyone who wants to stop digging through software menus and actually manage their audio on the fly. The best part is these two products pair really well together. Whether you're just starting out or polishing a more advanced setup, FeeFind gives you clean audio, easy control, and a lot of flexibility at a price that makes sense. Check out both products using the links in the description down below. They're both solid upgrades for anyone serious about improving their sound. Big thanks to FeeFind for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it.
So if you guessed Matt, you won! And if you guessed Jack, you're just wrong. Because if I put Linux on my PC at home, I'm mainly a multiplayer gamer, and I mainly play games that have anti-cheat built in. So games like Apex and Fortnite and Call of Duty, the games that I typically play, they just won't work. So in all honesty, me doing this challenge will be just totally different from my whole routine. I'll have to change up everything, and for me, it just will not be fun.
But for me, I've been playing a lot more story games and a lot less multiplayer games, ones that would not work on Linux. So my options are kind of open. I can do whatever I want with my system and actually run Linux on my gaming PC, not my work PC, we'll talk about during the challenge. But I decided to go with CachyOS, which is an operating system that will support my NVIDIA GPU. There is a specific NVIDIA GPU ISO I can use, and I'm gonna be installing it on my PC at home with a 4070 Ti and a 5800X. And for 30 days, I'm gonna document how my gaming experience goes. Can I do some content creation work? Can I do my normal work I do here between at home and at the office? And will I have any regrets for switching to Linux? Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into setting up that USB, and we'll get to installing on my gaming system at home. I'm scared. Okay guys, so we're already getting things off on the wrong foot. I actually made a statement at the beginning of this video that is wrong, then we're gonna go ahead and backtrack. This version of CachyOS, or CachyOS in general, is a version of Arch Linux that is designed to be super well optimized for not just gaming, but just people who want a fast version of Linux or just a fast operating system in general. It's a very cut down, very efficient operating system, and we did try this in a video already, which you want to see that video, you can, but I will be doing a lot of the stuff that I did in that video in this challenge, but for 30 days. But I did mention how with CachyOS, there is an NVIDIA specific version. That's not the case. There's actually just one desktop version. That's all you need to download. And I already have a USB for that here. As you can see here, we have a little CachyOS drive ready to go. And I will be using this SSD from Team Group, the GC Pro 2 terabyte. This is gonna be the drive I'm gonna use in my PC. It's a Gen 5 drive, but my system is a Gen 4 system, so it should just work backwards compatible to run in Gen 4 mode. We're just gonna take my Windows SSD out, plop this in, install our CachyOS, and then from there, we should be ready to install games and start the challenge. But once again, I wanna make sure everyone knows this. The point of this video is I'm definitely a noob when it comes to Linux. I'm not gonna know all the ins and outs. I'm an avid Windows user who has actually tried Linux recently, but not necessarily gone down the technical rabbit hole. But in this 30-day challenge, I'm most likely gonna have to do that. So this will be a fun way for you to see me, an average gamer, try to struggle through some of the inherent issues that may come up, or maybe I'll just have a super smooth experience and have nothing to write home about and tell people, hey, give Linux a go, even if you're just a very casual gamer. But we'll see when we get to that point. We'll see how this goes. Let's go home and install Linux. All right, guys, I am home, and it is, well, Bear's here to help. It is time for me to go ahead and install my drive and hopefully get CachyOS working just fine. Let's see if we can get this SSD out easily. Now, of course, I have to remove my GPU. Once again, we got a 4070 Ti. This is gonna be the most interesting thing for me because I'm not used to using Linux on an NVIDIA GPU. Every single time we've tested it, we used AMD, but CachyOS seems to be fine with NVIDIA. Maybe we'll have some issues, I don't know. And then our 5800X, 32 gigs of RAM. Again, you've seen the system before. I used it for the AMD challenge, a bunch of other stuff. So same old, but I gotta remove this GPU. I have two NVMe drives I wanna get rid of so then I can install. Again, yes, I know a Gen 5 drive. It's AM4, it's gonna run in Gen 4 mode. I know it's overkill, but you know, we have that. We're gonna install that in there in the top slot. Keep both those other drives out. 2 terabytes of storage will be plenty for this challenge, and then Cachy will be installed. All right, hello. little 4070 Ti. Looking great. LTT screwdriver at home because we don't just use them at the office. They're awesome. All right, SSD 1, little T500, and then SSD 2 is one that I won at a Intel, well, no, it was a Newegg event back at CES 2020. Little Intel drive, 1 terabyte. I did lose a screw though. I only got 2 screws now. I lost 1 screw somewhere in my case, so we'll figure that out when we get there. I love you guys, Rock, but this M.2 design was absolutely horrendous. The fact that I have to use these screws as the hold down screws for the SSDs. So I'm literally having to hold this whole piece of metal to screw it down. Oh, hello, myself, by the way. It's not fun. If I just put in the CachyOS drive, will it just boot to it? Or will I have some more dilemmas to deal with? These little drives can rest in peace right by my webcam. Let's see if she just posts. Also, this thing's looking gross. I gotta clean I gotta clean this side panel. Oh my God. All right, oh, we're into the BIOS. That's a little concerning, I think. Let's see, okay, UEFI, it's gonna boot to the disk. I love how it goes to this one for the BIOS. Don't send me to the BIOS again. Damn it. Okay, let me go back to the wiki. I might be missing something. I think this is my problem. Let's disable secure boots. Hey, perfect. Like how I rotated this monitor. Beauty of a monitor arm, I could just rotate it. That works great. Apparently we're on 2 screens now. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we got English. That is where I am. That is my keyboard. We have our drive. Beautiful. Plasma desktop, that's what I used last time. Let's leave everything default. I enjoyed everything here, and then I went through and did all the game-focused modifications once I got into the install, so we'll keep that. All right, it is install time. Got my user set up. We're good to go. Hit install. Boom. All right, I'll check in if I have any issues with the install process, but I'm not gonna show too much of this because we did a whole video on this install process, so I really just need to get set up on my hardware, and if we don't have any issues, then we're good to go. This is such a goofy little touch, but I kind of love just the picture of orientation. That's kind of sick. All right, and then this guy is, he's not running at the right resolution. You should be running at 4K, sir. Ooh, party foul. Okay, that's better. Can I go a little higher? Ah, perfection. All right, so I'm at the point now where I'm going to do essential packages that I normally do. That allows me to get, I guess, Steam set up and everything really simple. I basically run these commands. It's pretty straightforward. If I can find my mouse. Is like the mouse in Linux, like, hello? Where am I? The mouse is like harder to find, Jesus. So I need to do, let's see. Oh, I can do it in Cachy Hello, actually. Okay, so what do I do? Apps and tweaks. Install gaming packages. Oh, is it really that simple? Yes. Okay, so it looks like I could get it from the Cachy Hello store. Installs both packages, gaming meta and Cachy gaming applications. So I could have done it from the terminal. Is that what you call it? Yeah, guys, I'll learn these terms here. It's terminal, right? Console, from the console. That's it, that's the word. I could have done it from the console, but we are doing it from this instead, which is cool with me. And then I gotta figure out how to download some applications that I want. Like, how do I get Discord? How do I get Slack? How do I get Parsec? Can I just download Parsec? I don't know. I know there's an app store. We'll figure that all out. My biggest thing is if we get the gaming stuff going, then I can get Steam going and download games and then make sure I'm actually playing games right, because I did not install a single GPU driver. I'm assuming everything's just gonna work just like it did with AMD, but I don't know. We'll find out. Enter the exit. All right, I think we're done already. And if you guys haven't seen Cachy, by the way, just, are you noticing like how snappy everything is? Like everything just works. It's so fast. All right, so we are, well, Steam set up, so that's cool. I am learning a lot of applications, like Discord is one that I just did. I think it's installed, isn't it? Ah, look at that. Yeah, Discord's now installed. There's a lot of sudo commands that are very, very simple. I mean, this one was sudo pacman-s discord. Just insert that, and it literally just gave me a Discord download and installed it. Like, Discord is now installed on my PC. Let me see if it'll open up. Wow, love to see that. That's beautiful. Slack seems to be a little more complicated. That's one that I use for messaging It's making me download an application, and then I don't know what to do with that application. It's really the problem. So we'll see there. But hey, I got Discord. So Discord's good, Steam's good. Check in a moment.
All right, well, this guy is getting very needy and needs stuff from me, apparently. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. I am downloading a game right now though, but I'll try it before I go to bed for the day. The only issue I am gonna realize is my RGB is gonna be gross. I can get OpenRGB apparently, which is a program that works well on Linux, but NZXT products that use NZXT's hub and a USB header, what that is over there, I can't do anything with. So everything needed to be ARGB to work. So might be able to change my RAM and stuff, but I'll be honest, I might just leave it. It's not the end of the world. It's just RGB. Slack, it looks like it's gonna be a whole nother beast and I'm gonna have to figure out at some point. And then Parsec is another one I'm gonna need to be able to remote into the office. We're getting somewhere, but this is day one, and hopefully I'll be able to launch a game before the end of the day.
6.5 hours later.
Shout out to AI for helping me install Slack. So there's some weird things with the installer just didn't make sense. Again, new user, never heard of this stuff before. One thing I had to install, which is called the AUR helper. No idea what that means. AUR helper, I'll look that up and figure that out there. And it allowed me to use the Yay installer. I mean, it made me go yay when I got it installed, so yay. Basically, I had to get this installer helper installed, so that's good. So then it allowed me to use this, which I'm assuming this is a way to basically make installs a little bit easier from console. Like this will start pulling stuff for me instead of doing all the stuff I want to. You can let me know if I'm totally wrong down below, but inferring that's what it makes sense. And then it asked me some weird ass questions. Clean build, yes, no. And I'm like, what do you mean clean build? Do I want it to just install normal? And I just hit none. And then diffs to show, like how am I supposed to know what that means? This is something about, I was looking through, it's just like if you trust a package or not, or you want to like verify for security purposes. I mean, ChatGPT told me, so I trust it. So we got it installed. It's doing its thing. Hit yes, and now look at that. Now, the one sad news I am noticing, and also I'm doing Vulkan shaders in the background, by the way, for Black Mesa. It's struggling a little bit. It's taking a little bit here. But the one thing I did realize is there's no super easy way to install Parsec, and a lot of the forums I found, Parsec doesn't seem to be an option, which is going to be a problem. I'll be real with you. It's going to be a real problem because I need to remote into the PCs at the office. I technically do something else, but Parsec's what we have on all our Windows computers. And I told myself, I'm doing this for the sake of gaming. I want this to be focused on, can I switch my gaming PC to Linux? My work PC is now switching to Linux. It's just not happening. So we'll see where that goes. I'll mess with Parsec a bit. Hopefully, again, this game is trying to launch, so we'll see how it goes. And oh, by the way, yeah, it is still the same day. It's still day one if it wasn't clear. I'm still just kind of grinding away at it. And Buddy is distracted over here. So we're getting work done. It's kind of tradition at this point where all these Linux challenges always launch Black Mesa. We're getting decent FPS. I wouldn't say it's amazing though. Did it kind of just like, the FPS like went down as I was just sitting there. We're running 1440p. I'm assuming higher details. Let's see, again, about 100 or so FPS. Go to visual. Oh, why is it running at 4K? Let's, this isn't even a 4K monitor. What's going on here? Let's adjust that real quick. See what's going on here. All right, FPS seems different. My GPU usage is a little low. That's kind of weird, I'll be honest with you. But we are running this game, getting about 100 FPS, so it at least works. I'll install some, again, more demanding games overnight. I want to try Borderlands 4, see if that just works. Some other games that I'm trying out, I got the new Silent Hill game. I'm going to give that a go. We'll install some games like that, see if they work okay. Because right now, I mean, this is getting good FPS. I mean, I honestly haven't even played this on here, so I don't know. But I'm going to conclude this first night. I'm going to try to install Parsec off camera. I think ChatGPT is going to help me with that and get me through the process. And if I get Parsec installed, I'll check back in. If not, we'll talk about it later. I did a thing. Parsec, baby. Let's go. Remote it into my PC at work. I can still access Windows. Hey guys, it is Linux day 2 check-in, and I got things working, kinda. So issue, I'm dealing with some audio problems. That's my troubleshooting for the night. It's actually like 7 o'clock. I'm not gonna be able to do this for much longer today, but I am on here to play some games, and I can play games with my IEMs, which I do have 2 audio ports on my PC. So I have the line in from the back of the computer and a headphone jack on the top. Let me show you. So if you look in here, we have what's called Starship. We have a line out and we have headphones in. And by the way, if you hear licking in the background, I'm sorry. So we have line out and headphones. So line out is this port right here. At least I believe so. When I play test,
nothing's happening. Cool. If I swap to my headphone port, I don't really hear this very well, they are IEMs, but they do work. 100% they work. So I was like, you know, maybe there's something wrong with the speakers. So I swap and the speakers start playing. So I don't know if it's a configuration issue or what. I really would like how my speaker's working because I like using speakers when I'm not gaming. But either way, if it takes too long, that'll be like a later thing I try to figure out because I just want to try some games for more than like 5 minutes. I'll be honest, I think Borderlands is a little bit broken too. I think I might need to look and see if there is a driver I can get for this NVIDIA card because the performance hasn't been great. It hasn't been as plug and play as it was with an AMD GPU, and this kind of looks a little bad. Just documenting the fact that I am pulling the latest NVIDIA drivers from the CachyOS/Arch Linux repo repositories. Repo, it's a repository, Matt. So if this breaks things, yeah, I documented it. So we'll see how that goes. So unfortunately, I think Borderlands is just gonna be like this on Cachy. I actually somehow found a Reddit thread on Linux Gaming, people asking about Borderlands 4 and how it performs on Linux. And some people saying with AMD GPUs it's working great. Others were saying the artifacting, even on CachyOS, they're only getting about 50 FPS in the game. And it was really due to the fact that they were running DLSS or FrameGen. So it's kind of like unplayable without that. So let me like turn off DLSS and see if it fixes it. There's still like a little bit of artifacting, but it's better, but the game is now just not even playable, like 40 FPS. I was kind of hoping to play this during the challenge, but I think Borderlands is off the list. I did download the new Silent Hill game though, which I'm kind of excited about. So maybe that one will work well. Let's launch that and see. It's looking like it's working. I'm finally gaming. All right, day 2 in the books. Important things to mention. Controller just worked. That's not a gimme. That never is a gimme, so nice to see the controller just working. Silent Hill F is running decent. I honestly think my CPU needs an upgrade for this game. It's getting maxed out all over the place. I can't even blame Linux on that. But I'm getting around 60 FPS, not having a problem doing that. So 2 days in, I can play games. That's cool. Can't play all the games I want to play. Borderlands was one that did not want to work properly, but it's going okay. We'll see if things get better. All right, guys, we are currently day number 4, I believe. I'll be honest, it's probably one of my more frustrating days trying to get Linux working. Games are running okay. That stuff's working fine. I'm just having an absolute nightmare. There's probably some workaround fix like I'm doing here. Let me show you guys what I've been trying to go through. Just using ChatGPT, it's trying to help me. Don't get me wrong. AI is trying to help me here, but this is the troubleshooting of code lines that I've been trying to do just to get my speakers to play audio. Now, again, this may just be a random install issue. I've heard Arch is a mess sometimes, but if as a PC gamer, average PC gamer, it's really hard for me to just say, install Linux and deal with this when you have to deal with this. But yeah, this isn't a great experience so far. I mean, it's working. I'm able to play my games. That's okay. But that speaker thing is really annoying me because that's one of those things. And again, Linux users, depending on the distro or whatever, it may work perfectly fine. That on Windows, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I'd be willing to say, that stuff just works. Just works out of the gate. I don't have to do any troubleshooting. I don't really know what's going on with that. So that's going to be a side project, but I'm going to get to gaming today. I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day at work, so I just want to play some games. And then from there, I'll dive into some other projects. We'll try some video editing. We'll see if we can get DaVinci Resolve. I know is the video editor. We can try that out. And then we'll also see if I can get OBS working, because OBS on Cachy would be a major achievement. Maybe I'll get motivated and try that before I game, but OBS is one that I want to get working so I could like record some desktop stuff and show you guys that you could do content on Linux. So day 4, kind of anticlimactic. I did skip a day, so I apologize. I'll try to keep these daily updates as daily as I can, but throughout the edit, it'll make more sense. So check back in later. All right, guys, I got OBS working. Can you believe it? OBS is actually working, and it wasn't too difficult to set up. I do want to show you a couple things, though, in OBS that are quite weird, and this is like my 3rd time recording this, by the way, because I realized my quality settings were awful, but this should be recording at 1440p using the NVENC encoder, and this does look a lot sharper, so let me know what you think, but I am using this webcam right here. I'll go ahead and scale up so you guys can see what it looks like. 60 FPS. It has the tracking features. Again, this is not an ad or anything. I just thought it was kind of cool. We did our tech video and I brought this camera home. Can you follow me? Yes, I can. Can you follow me this way?
I've had my moment with it. Let's go back to the desktop. So we're gonna go and scale this back down here. As you guys can see, we have OBS. There's some weird things that are with OBS that I have to mention. I have this extra source up. Let me remove this real quick because I'll show you the demo. First thing is how display capture works. So you do screen capture, and one thing that happens is you have these options to pick displays. So here's my TV, here's my main monitor, and here's my side monitor. You can do full workspace, which means it takes every single one of your monitors and stitches it into one source. It looks really goofy, so you can do that if you want to. Never seen that before in OBS. You can also, you want to make sure not to use video capture pipewire for at least webcams, because for some reason it limited to only 640 by 480 or some really low resolution like that. No idea why. Again, things I'm just learning here. But I always heard that Linux is a little weird with OBS because I think there was a Linux distro, maybe it was Cachy, or it was Nobara. One of the Linux distros we did a video on optimized for OBS, but I installed this using just a couple lines from ChatGPT. I'll show you guys what ended up being the full lines of code here. But if we scroll all the way up, I say code commands, Matt, the terminology, you really gotta work on this. Basically, it had me update my system, everything in my system, scrolled through and just did a bunch of updates, made sure that was good. And then all I did was the classic sudo pacman-s OBS Studio, install, hit yes, boom. Now we have OBS and it works. So I do have the ability to do that now. So this is cool. I can do screen recordings on here. So we'll make this experience a little bit easier, and using the NVENC encoder, pretty dang good. I guess I'll show you guys the settings I am currently running. So we got NVENC 10,000 bitrate, slow quality, and we're recording at the 1440p resolution, no downscale, 1440p 60. Great quality. Yeah, well, I'm gonna get to gaming now. I feel like I've accomplished something today. I deserve a gaming sesh. Day 5/6/ I don't even know the day anymore. Yeah, we're gonna run with that. I'm playing some Halo right now. Came home. It is currently Thursday. You can hear the music in the background. Not coming from my speakers. Don't think I fixed that, because I definitely didn't fix that. That is coming from my my monitor. But it is currently October 9th. So, you know, you can figure out the dates here. That'd be day 9. I didn't start technically on the 1st, but either way, I'm playing some Halo. I'm chilling. No major issues here. Kind of sucks. I'm kind of just game hopping right now because I don't really have a game I'm passionate about. Silent Hill was fine, but I probably should give that a little more time. We'll play that a bit. But maybe my itch is to do another Halo playthrough. I feel like every couple of years, I feel the urge to play the original Halos on a very difficult campaign just for the fun of it. I'll probably queue up some multiplayer first, see what that's like, see what the community's looking like on Master Chief Collection. But play some multiplayer for a bit, report back if I have any issues. Linux today is pretty straightforward. Still speakers not working. I'm play some games. I'm just trying to enjoy some Halo. And wow, look at this. A black screen. I have audio, I promise you. And I promise you, I'm playing the game. It's probably gonna come back here in a second. I'm not gonna stop recording just because, oh, here it is. Look, I'm dead. All right, let's see. Can I play the game for a bit? Okay, we're gonna run around. Nope, oh, we haven't black screen yet. Oh, there it goes again. Like, what is this? To be fair, I have no idea if this is a Linux issue. I'm not even sitting here blaming Linux. Could be my PC. Is my PC cooked? I don't know. Let me know. Checking in, I am playing some Halo CE campaign now, and it doesn't seem to be doing that issue. I don't really know what was going on there. Again, could totally just be the Master Chief Collection having issues. Could be Linux. Throughout this whole series, you're going to see issues that could very well just be PC gaming issues that can't really pinpoint specifically to Linux. But if that continues in other games, or if I play different stuff, might be a good idea to try the Andy GPU. But for now, this is good. I'm actually getting ready to have a kind of a long weekend where I have a lot of time to game and play on this PC. I'm doing some work over at the office, but when I'm not there, I'll probably be here doing some gaming. But I'm going to check out for the day, and if anything crazy happens, I'll jump back in. But so far, smooth. Okay guys, what's up? It is currently October 13th, doing a little OBS recording here because I am trying to get DaVinci Resolve installed, which according to my research, it doesn't look like DaVinci Resolve is like officially supported on Arch. I could be wrong, it's something to do with licensing based on what I've seen, but you can install it using the ARU, which is the Arch User Repository. I think that's what it's called. ARU, is that what it's called? I think maybe, I don't know. Let's keep going with it. But we're gonna follow these steps that ChatGPT gave me.
to see if this works. I got to install some repositories to make sure that DaVinci is going to work all right. My God, Matt, what was that all about? Up to date. Cool. That's good. OpenCL support. Make sure I install this. Let's see. Okay, that looks good. And then we can get it paid studio only, one free edition. Community version works for most. Let's do the free version. I do have the ARU helper though, so this should work, right? Oh, there's no package. Okay, interesting. It's not simple so far. So it looks like that's good. DaVinci Resolve. They cannot find the free package anymore. Shout out to the creator, 28 all day. Shout out. AI was not helping me at all. It made it sound like I couldn't even download DaVinci Resolve even if I wanted to, but you can download the free version from their website, the Linux version. And once you do download it, this guy basically made a file, which, you know, I just blindly trusted this guy. You know, it is what it is. That creates an executable that allows you to automatically install it the way it's supposed to. Moment of truth. Look at this. DaVinci Resolve. Will it launch? I hope so. Is it working? Hey, sometimes you just need to do a reboot, and that seemed to be the thing here. So let's create a new project, call it this. Look at this, we're in a video editor. How does this work? So is this unsupported? Well, maybe not that clip. Let's try a different clip, shall we? Oh, wait, I'm not getting any playback is the problem. I know this isn't officially supported, but come on now. It is using, I think, the hybrid codec that OBS uses. So I'm trying just a random file here that I'm transferring to my desktop. So I've never used this software, by the way. So I'm guessing just on like context clues. Import stage, there it is. Let's import this. Just transfer an audio file. Recording, clap. It's literally an audio file. Let's go back here. Will this play? Recording, clap. That's weird. Due to licensing, apparently, the free version of DaVinci Resolve, based on my research, does not support these certain formats for whatever reason. I'm tapping out for the day. I think DaVinci Resolve might not be the vibe. Maybe I can find a free video editing software. I know on the startup, or like the what's it called, the Arch, the repository program, wherever that is, there was something that I could do to look at some like applications that might work. I might just need to get a basic video editor because configuring this is an absolute pain in the butt. I'm gonna pause on that and go from there. I have been contemplating, by the way, and I probably mentioned this many times, I think I want to try another distro on like day 15 or 16. I think I want to do Bazite, only because everything has been fine so far. There's been some random issues like that video editing and then the audio thing. I just want to see if I install Bazite, if my audio will just work okay, and then maybe run that, just a different version of Linux for the challenge, especially because there is an NVIDIA version I can install on a USB. So I think I might give a little Bazite a try here. I had my run with Cachy for a couple days and it's working. I didn't say I have to commit to a distro for 30 days. You know, I can jump. So I'm gonna jump. Guess who's back? I realized in the Cachy Hello thing where you can go in and you can see different programs, there's a video editing software called Kdenlive. Sure, let's try that. I also installed OpenShot. Am I really gonna have to restart my damn PC again? Okay, so Kdenlive just tries the launch. There, it's down there and crashes. Okay, let's try OpenShot. Is that even on here? I thought I just downloaded it. Is video editing just banned? Am I just unable to make this happen? It is October 17th. I am forcing myself to do a little bit more time on my PC, and one thing that I did get working is Kdenlive, which seems to be a free video editor you can use. I did realize that, as you can see, it is working perfectly fine. I'm actually able to scrub a timeline here. Wow, look at this. Beautiful, that's nice. DaVinci, I did realize, and I'll probably edit it accordingly. You pay that one-time fee for DaVinci Resolve and you're good to go. But for me, for this challenge, I don't want to just buy the license to DaVinci Resolve once and then maybe not use it again. So For the sake of this video, that's all I'm going to be doing here. So this just works. That's pretty sick. So I am using MAV. These file recordings, this is a MAV file recording, which I was trying to see if I could get DaVinci Resolve, trying to do a different codec. And then because of that, I used a really weird recording format. And now I'm wondering, am I using that format right now? QuickTime and Fmpeg. Hopefully this is still viewable. We'll see. Bear is wanting my attention. So we're gonna stop right here for now. I'm gonna play some games. I am also looking into Winboat, which is a program, Docker is, I think, the term, where I can actually run some Windows apps, potentially. I will check in if I get anywhere with that. If not, I'll just be doing some gaming. All right, guys, it is October 25th. We are almost at the end of this challenge, and I will say, things have been pretty solid. I managed to get pretty much everything I wanted installed working. I used my PC like I would at home. Again, my gaming PC, I don't do a ton of work on it, so I used it mainly for gaming, and it's been working fine. But I am going to ignore all the comments that you all gave me on the community post, because I am just determined to figure out if Bazite is the better option, because I already know if I don't switch to Bazite now or try Bazite now, I'm probably not gonna try it any other time. So if you guys don't know Bazite, kind of like the SteamOS clone distro I did install on this flash drive. There is an NVIDIA distro version. We're gonna give it a go. I did do a community post where I asked you guys what you all wanted me to do, and you all said, no, Matt, stay focused on CachyOS. I feel like I've done everything I need to do with CachyOS. I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job and I haven't had any major issues. I wanna see if, oh goodness, I just threw it. I wanna see if Bazite will fix my audio issue. If it does, I don't know, man, maybe Bazite's gonna be the one that I can stick with longer term, but I'm gonna give it a go, and we'll see how this works out. That's a fun one. Decided to load up my installer on the TV. Say hi, Bear. We'll see how this turns out. Do you think the audio is gonna work? I have my doubts too. We'll see. Install complete. Let's reboot. Got some monitor bouncing going on here. So now we're on this one. Again, it is more like a console-like environment. Again, there's my Steam thing here. But I don't know. We'll see if it works good for desktop as well. First of all, wallpaper looks way cooler. It has nothing to do with the challenge, but the default wallpaper is way cooler on Bazite, just saying. The audio thing still doesn't work. Same issue, same audio setup. Everything looks exactly the same and it's not working. This Linux challenge is going to end with me either exhausting all options or fixing my audio issues. One theory I got really close thinking it was that my TV plugged via HDMI was causing the audio controller not to be able to separate the audio channels. That was one thing I thought I had. Didn't work. So we'll keep working. It's beyond that point where a casual user was having this issue, they would have just swapped back to Windows already. And I know there's ways to fix these things, and I've been enjoying my experience besides this one issue. I know there's ways to fix this stuff, but it's so convoluted that it's hard for me to recommend the average person switch to Linux who just wants to sit at their PC and play a game. I can play a game, but I have my hardware not utilized properly. Now, when we switch back to Windows towards the end of the challenge, I'll be able to fully confirm that there's nothing wrong with my PC. We'll see where that goes. But in terms of today, I don't want to be in front of this PC anymore. I want to play games on something else. So I'm going to let some games download anyways, because I can't even play any games on here. So I'm going to let some games download, and then I'll come back to this tomorrow and play some games on Bazite, see what that experience is like. But we're pretty much close to the end of the challenge anyways, so we'll just see where it goes. I found this. Let's see. It's called Bazaar? Yeah, something like that. Basically, like it's built in App Store. I think Cachy had one of these, but I never managed to find it. But this is kind of cool. So basically, if you scroll through here, it is just a App Store for certain things you need. So here's different launchers. Here's how you play Minecraft Bedrock, different game engines, emulators that you can install. And once again, this is on desktop Bazite, which I have realized if you try to use the gaming mode with multiple monitors does not work very well, which kind of makes sense because this is designed for home theater setups, so it won't let you pick a display. So if I want to use the gaming mode, basically the Steam Picture mode, I just will need to have my one monitor plugged up, which I could do. And easy to install this stuff. So let's say I need VLC. So let's hit install. This is just like downloading stuff from an app store. This is cool to have. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, having this is really cool. It doesn't give you everything, but it does give you enough, you know? So that's pretty cool. This is kind of cooked on an NVIDIA GPU. Why did I think installing Bazite on this would be a good idea? I don't know. I just wanted to try something different. Cachy was just boring, I guess. Now I don't have anything working. Let's see if I can get Wukong to launch.
Damn it. All right, is the next day, October 26th. I'm trying out some Halo Infinite. By the way, need to do a little workaround. There was like a setting under interface in Steam that allows GPU acceleration to allow me to actually sign into my Microsoft account. But we're running ultra settings 1440p. This poor game is so dead. It's so sad. But we are currently running higher details, and I want to see if the performance is fine, because this is one game we have not tested yet. So 1440p, ultra settings. Just see what it looks like here. I bet the only people playing this game are absolute sweats, so I'm terrified. Not too bad. Again, ultra settings, I'd probably run lower settings realistically, but 90 FPS. Maybe I should just play the single player game for the fun of it. All right, so this might be the last check-in, surprisingly, for the Linux challenge, because it is Sunday the 26th. And in terms of like my normal gaming schedule, I end up gaming on the weekends. During the week, not as much. You probably have seen throughout the check-ins. It's kind of been sporadic, but with this being the last day and a busy week coming up, I'm going to use my PC obviously at home with Bazite installed. I'm just going to keep running with Bazite, which hasn't had any major issues. Nothing super crazy. Wukong, which I am trying to launch again, was having some issues launching, because of course it does. But I am pretty definitive in saying that CachyOS, compared to the two, is the way better option. Like, especially with an NVIDIA GPU, CachyOS way better. And I know this version is not even really designed for this use case, and I'll talk more about it during my like final thoughts and outro about what I think of Linux and use cases for Linux and how you can justify each distro and what it's used for and how I think it may not replace Windows for me, but we'll get into that. But I just want to show you the Black Myth Wukong issue I'm having, see if it works. Basically on the non-compatibility mode, it won't launch properly, but when I run compatibility mode, I'm getting like half the FPS I was on CachyOS. I don't know, man, but either way, we are close to the end of this challenge, and I think I've learned a lot, and I've had a good experience so far, but I am gonna be honest, I'm ready to switch back to Windows. So you all have not seen this specific area in the game yet, but I'm only getting about 50 FPS right now. And if I go into the settings, I'm running the same settings I've done earlier in the challenge when I was using CachyOS. DLSS, 75%. Let's scroll all the way down, and very high settings. And at this point, I'm normally getting about 110 FPS. I'm only getting like 59 FPS, and it's not a very smooth experience. So, I mean, it's decent, but it's definitely like far less FPS than I was getting. So, and then some stutters here and there. It wasn't running like this before. So this game's not running great, but you guys saw Halo Infinite ran fine. So it just, distro to distro, you may have different experiences, especially when you have this in your computer. I think the NVIDIA GPU is the biggest problem with consistency with Linux. All right, guys. It is the day I say goodbye to Linux. It is currently November 1st. It's been a journey, I will say. I'm gonna put my Windows drive back in, well, my 2 Windows drives back in. I'm gonna mess around with my PC a little bit, just make sure there's no issues, but we're gonna see if our audio works, because that was a common theme, and then I'll collect all my thoughts and give you all a wrap up. But this Linux journey was a journey, and you guys saw my struggles. It wasn't perfect. Probably was better off on CachyOS the entire time, but you know what? Let's finish this video. All right, guys, it has been a long 30 days, but I think I have come to my conclusion about Linux and just my overall thoughts about it for PC gamers. Again, this whole challenge is me as a casual PC gamer, someone who enjoys playing video games on PC, what it's like to switch to Linux, and with all the problems that Microsoft is causing. And again, I freely admit, Microsoft is making Windows 11 not a great experience. And for those who care about privacy, there's a lot of concerns out there for using Windows 11, but there are still a lot of cons when it comes to Linux. And I'm gonna kind of go over my pros and cons list that I have after this 30-day experience. We'll start with the pros. We'll start things positively. I get the appeal of Linux. I totally understand it. It's one of those things where if you're a techie and you absolutely love messing with hardware, Linux is another outlet for you to not only build an awesome gaming PC or build a PC to your liking, you can fine-tune an operating system to be absolutely exactly what you're looking for and have full control that Windows may normally would lock you out of. I totally understand that. The distro hopping is a lot of fun. There's a lot of different things you can see in different Linux distros. Again, I've only tested a handful of them, but there are so many different options out there that'll make the perfect operating system for you at home. And for those who are really passionate about Linux and the support of everything being open source and available and being able to fine-tune certain things to fit your specific needs, Linux does an amazing job at doing that, and I understand the appeal. But just like anything that's open and customizable, there are some cons where it becomes just very cumbersome at times for the average person to learn. Now, I love these gaming distros. They have made it much more obtainable for an average person to switch to Linux and run it daily if they want to. But I think the major con that really holds me back from driving it daily is, one, the hardware support. There's a lot of NVIDIA users out there. As much as AMD has gained market share, NVIDIA GPU owners are still out there, and I know there are some people who have had no issues, and that's pretty fair. I know it's just an up and down use case where some people may have issues and some don't. I had a decent amount of issues in some of the games I tested. Switching over to Linux full time for an NVIDIA user is just not really recommended. And that's coming from my experience. But again, your mileage may vary, and with Linux, you can just try it. Might as well see if your PC runs it. Now, obviously, the other major cons are what are going to keep the average gamer from switching to Linux. The anti-cheat thing is not something I can ignore. Now, I know the common theme we hear from people in the Linux community is, oh, those games that require kernel level anti-cheat are not good games anyway. In my mind, that's kind of a toxic mindset. And the reason I say that's a toxic mindset is because gamers want to play games that they want to play. And if you're going to basically degrade their game that they enjoy, they're less likely to even consider joining Linux because you're just talking down to them. It's not a mindset that I think people should have when trying to get people to adopt to Linux. If somebody has a game that they absolutely love, and in Jackson's use case, it's multiplayer games that do require a kernel level access for anti-cheat, or just an anti-cheat that's not supported on Linux, he just doesn't have any reason to switch to Linux because the bad far outweighs the good. And to add on to that, again, he could have so many more issues like I had throughout this challenge. Again, for me, it's much more obtainable for me to do it, but it's one of those where I still had some issues that kind of turned me off a little bit from running it daily. But what I think Linux is absolutely perfect for, and people need to stop ignoring, is it's good for purpose-built deployments. And what I mean by that is these gaming operating systems that are designed for like couch gaming. Bazite's a really good example of that. Or just a system that is a Steam-focused system that's just running Steam games. I think deploying Linux distros into certain scenarios is really awesome. Is it good for me to deploy onto my main PC? No, and that's why I'm not going to be fully switching to Linux full time, and you probably got that throughout this challenge, but I think Linux as an operating system has come a long way. I understand the appeal. I understand why people really want to switch to it. I understand why people want to daily drive it, but I don't think it's there yet for the average PC gamer to want to come home and just play video games and not have to worry about random things breaking on them, even though that still does happen in Windows. I think with Linux, the learning curve is much steeper. So if you are somebody who loves a challenge, wants to learn something, I felt like I learned something throughout this challenge with all the stuff I had to encounter, give Linux a go. There's really no reason not to. You can even just buy another SSD like I did, throw it in the system, install Linux, see what happens. You can even dual boot if you want to. And with my new PC build that I'm going to be putting together, it's going to be all AMD. I do plan on dual booting with some Linux distros so I can try more operating system with an all AMD system. So stay subscribed for that if you guys want to see me test other distros on this channel. And I think Linux testing is going to keep coming to this channel because as new distros come out and they're more purpose driven and I can deploy them into certain environments that are designed for fully taking advantage of the operating system that was built, I think that's where Linux is going to thrive long term, just like the Steam Deck. So this was a very long process and a long project, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to check out our other two YouTube channels, Toasty DIY and Toasty Clips, where we post a bunch of other content unrelated to the main YouTube channel, and twitch.tv/ToastyBros. We live stream every single morning building gaming PCs, and we also do a monthly PC giveaway. So if you're not following there, be sure to follow there, and hope to see you guys in the next one. So Linux may not be for everyone, but if you are looking for a gaming PC with Windows, or we could install Linux if you really want to, head on over to PCBros.tech. If you use code ToastyBros on checkout, you will save 3% of your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.